Hey, good morning, folks.
Thanks for
Sorry
the
for
sub.
being a few minutes late, but I'm trying to get things set up. Uh, was at the gym a little longer than I wanted to be, and so here we are. Thanks for being a member there, Raj D. 1 month. That's nice. Cool theme. Thanks, Low Sync. Yeah, we're trying out something new. I had to reset up OBS. I had to reset up a computer when my last one shit the bed, and so I had to redo everything. And all of my old stuff was on the old computer, which meant new theme. Hey, Nathan. What's up, Mike? Hey, Howie, LTX. Fegley, good morning. Physical Render. Hey, Kegel. Hey, Pathetic Puma. You made it. Nice. Salutations, pop away. Yeah, we got all the usual characters here. Good morning to all of you. Thanks for coming in the members stream and being members. Hey, Tin Talon. I think we got you squared away on Discord, right? I really need someone to help me manage that server and figure out the settings. Like, I just need something that works. I feel like whatever I'm doing right now is just not allowing people to join when they become members and things like that, and it's annoying. So apologies to you for the trouble, but I think we got you fixed up. So good stuff. You're at work. Don't tell your boss. I won't tell him. But we are going to get started. I've only got about 2 hours to stream, so we'll get you guys in and out, and appreciate your time, and thanks for hanging out with us. So let me show you where we are for those that weren't able to make it last time. We are here, right? So finish up the frame. I finished this off camera, kind of ran out of time, needed a few more parts, was unable to get there, and it turned out I needed a lot more parts than what I thought. I had 0 of the no drop nuts printed, and so I needed to go back and do all of that. Hey, Gergman, good morning. Happy New Year. So I needed to go back and do all of that, and that would have been just a pain. I needed to print 75 of those things. So we're good now. I think I've gone back and verified that all of the no drop nuts are where they're supposed to be. I do have some of the insert M3s around here somewhere that we can use if I did forget anything. So I'm not super worried about that. I'll just need to locate those. They're in one of the drawers over there. Hey, Boothie, good morning. Not sure about a configurator, but the Voron part names have primary and accent colors. Yes. I generally follow those, but also I do my own thing, and I'll choose like 3 or 4 colors for most of my builds. This will be a 3-color build for the most part. Cool. So frame is good to go. At this point, as you can see on PDF, bottom right corner, the next thing we need to do is just flip this upside down, because we're going to start doing skirts and feet, which is great because I don't like moving this thing around on this beautiful frame that Pathetic Puma made for us, who is in chat. Thank you, sir. Yeah, really, really, really like the frame. So I want to keep that looking pristine as possible until we get it finished. So that's where we're going to pick up. Looking at the manual, actually, let's make a new one here. We'll call this one, never mind. So right there, you could see that frame is fantastic. Thanks, Howie. It's all thanks to Pathetic Puma. So we're gonna do feet next. I have not done heat inserts at all. In fact, in my rush to get out here and get started to not delay you guys too long, I forgot to heat up the iron. So let me get that plugged in and turned on. I have since removed it from the stealth press. It just, I don't know, the stealth press is great for a lot of things, but when I was building the Delta Flyer and we had that effector, I couldn't use the stealth press for that. I had to really get inside at an angle to be able to get some of those heat inserts in there. So I've removed it and haven't placed it back yet. You can see I still have parts over here for this Delta Flyer that I haven't done. So printed feet, that I need to put on, bottom panel I need to put on. I want to add in a filament sensor, and this is the old heater that didn't work on Sunday. I really think that maybe my soldering job is not the best. And so luckily I had another heater and I was able to swap it out. And so you guys will see that. I think one of them dropped today, this morning. The other one is scheduled to post on Thursday morning. For members, though, you guys get to see that early. So I think it's available for you to watch right now on the community page on YouTube. So I've gone through and greased all the rails. I think we did that on the last stream. They're feeling a lot better than they did. And yeah, so should be good to go. The frame is 1515 low sync, yes. So Salad Fork, Micron, any of the printers for ants are made with 1515. What else was I going to show you guys? Oh, I thought about going back, and I'm waiting, but I thought about taking the markers that we used on the Delta Flyer to make it what you guys are calling Borderlands style. I thought about doing it on this build as well. What do you guys think? You're a Tiny T guy? I've always wanted a Tiny T, but I just never really got around to it. Thanks, Bryce. I like the frame too. But I don't have a purple marker, so I want to get a purple one to be able to outline this. And the only thing that came in here was blue, so these are the 8 basic colors, and purple was not one of those. So I need to think about that, but I wanted to get your guys' thoughts. Should we be doing it or not? In the meantime, so we're doing a stealth fork, which is slightly different than a salad fork, which is the manual that we're looking at. It's what kind of marker? This is a jumbo acrylic marker, Kegel. There are oil-based markers that you could use as well. I may try that for my next set. So this is the one I got. This is the brand I got. I got these on Amazon. They were $10 or something for a pack. So they're pretty affordable. And it's acrylic, so it's water washable and that kind of thing. The Delta Flyer, so this bottom panel is done up with those markers. So I know there's a shine on that, but there we go. You love sniffing those. Yeah, it is something to behold. All right, enough dorking around. Let's get going. All right, so I've got 3 feet, and then the fourth one is sort of a 2-piece part here. So it's integrated with the skirt. So this will have the inlet, and it's dovetailed together into the foot, which is a nice touch. So you can print these nicely in 2 pieces. I did do a little bit of multicolor printing on these, and so I do have the hexagons in purple to kind of match the theme. The rest of the skirts are just layer swapped. So once it got to a point where I wanted it, did the layer swap on it, and now we're looking like that. The rest of the skirts are about the same, so this would be a normal side skirt here. Simple layer swap. So I know that the build is slightly different, and I'm not seeing any heat inserts in this particular part, but there are some in the rest of this skirt, so I'll go ahead and put them here. And then on the other feet, there are also some heat insert spots there, so we'll get those going as well. Excuse me. Get my heat inserts out. So really, this is just a chat and chill, hang out kind of stream. I think we'll do a couple of hours and call it good. But we'll do whatever you guys want to see. If things are moving and I'm not getting too far behind, maybe we go a little bit longer. You got your girlfriend so many of those markers for Christmas. What does she do with them? Is she like an artist that actually uses them for what they're intended for? I want to see your feet. Well, you want to see my feet, Jeremy? Here you go. I'll show you. There you go. You know, Walmart brand Crocs here for you. So Freak Slacker, when are we streaming again, nerd? You haven't streamed in like a month. In that time, I've crossed 1,000 subs and you weren't even around to see it. I'm pretty sad. Got to charge for that kind of content? Yeah, that's why I didn't show you my feet. I showed you my shoes. So yeah, so not only did we reach 1,000, but I was informed that I'm number 4 on OnlyFans. Turns out putting mayonnaise on your feet is what people want to see. We had an idea to do marinara on my feet, but Marinara Joe didn't sound like a good handle. Mayonnaise Joe, aka Miracle Whip on OnlyFans, sounded like a much better solution. One of these days, Saturday, was sick over the weekend. You got to put Vagisil on that, man. You can't just go with it. All right, so those are good. Yeah, I got to 1K, and that's because of your help. You and Keela always pushing me to do bigger and better. Steve helped a lot. A lot of people. Neokoi helped a lot. Boothie gave me feedback early on about how much I sucked and why I should do better. But yeah, it was a community effort to cross 1,000, which I guess is the first big milestone, but pretty transparent to me. Like, I don't know what's good, what's not good when it comes to number of subs, but I hear more is better. Hey, Clownhammer, good morning. We're in the chat giving Jeremy hell for not streaming. Thanks, the Reverend. Just do your thing, keep enjoying what you do. Yep, that's what I'm doing. So 1,000 is cool, but that's never really been the goal. So we'll see. On your way to help Buddy finish? All right, Mike, enjoy. All right, so it wants us to put the feet on, and it's not crazy clear. Again, we're doing a stealth fork, and I think there's a stealth fork manual. Let me see if I've downloaded that. No, there is not a stealth fork manual, so we'll just figure this out through CAD. I do have CAD open, and so let me show you guys what that looks like. Let's take you over to this page. So this is our CAD here. I just have it opened in Fusion browser, or Autodesk Viewer, I guess is the official term for it. And we'll move this down a little bit. There we go. And Jeremy was sick, more like just being a bum playing video games, probably. What's the pattern on the frame? The pattern on the frame is, it's a salad fork logo, and then also a Printers for Ants logo. Had I had the foresight, I would have asked Pathetic Puma to do a stealth fork logo, but we started talking about this, and then I changed the plan after the fact, and that camera's not really zooming in properly. Let's see if it'll... Come on, baby. You can do it. Focus. It's not really wanting to focus today. But yeah, it's a Printers for Ants logo, salad fork logo, all over the frame. If you go back and look through the post, it'll give you a good close-up on what it was. Jeremy was playing Switch in bed that day, was watching me. You want to build a side pack trident. That's a great idea. I've also always wanted one of those. I think a side pack is pretty cool. So this is what those skirts look like. A little bit different. And this is weird. Here we go. So we'll say, sorry, let's relabel this. This should be front. That should be home. There we go. Okay, and so it's got us working on these front corners first. And so these pieces here, but then there's this beauty piece that goes at the bottom to give sort of a really good border around it. And that caught my attention. That really caught my eye. And the reason why I went with a stealth fork versus just a normal salad fork. And then it uses the big feet as well. And I've got a bunch of those in stock from other builds. So, good to go. Oh, Keela telling on you? Keela gave you access to the OnlyFans camera. Yeah. All right. So it wants us to start here. To me, that means this one goes there. So our skirts can fit in, and then this is the other side. That's probably back there. And then this one goes here. Yeah, so these knobs that interface with their extrusions, not fitting the best, but it's plastic, so we can shave that down a little and make it fit. I do have a few files in here that we can use. What did I do with them? So a set of needle files will take care of most of those kinds of things. You can tell which one I use the most. All right, folks, let Kelly get back to the build. I gotta go climb this damn pole. All right, Jeremy, stay warm, man. It's 45-ish, 43 out here today. We've already got snow in the mountains. So enjoy your time, stay warm. Just gonna file those a little bit. The little detail that's here in the foot, I was reading through some of the documentation. I guess the intent is to have a frame thermistor, and that's why there are zip ties here, so you can run that back through into the main board. I don't know that I'm going to do that. All 4 of the feet have that available to be able to do it. I've never saw or needed a frame thermistor, and so I'm not really going to do that. I'll just put one inside the chamber to deal with chamber temps, and we'll go from there. Let's see, I did put the nuts in here, so let me get a tool. Don't lick the pole. All right. So there are possibly too many in here because I put the salad fork number of no drop nuts in, and I believe we need the what is it called, the stealth fork, but I did not reference the CAD. I just went off of what was in there. So we may have extras, and that's okay. It's no drop nuts, so they shouldn't vibrate or anything like that, and it is okay if they end up moving over time because none of that's going to matter. Just referencing the CAD here, what size are we using? Hide that one. Hide that one. All right, let's show the browser here. Looks like an M3x8, which is a ton of these. I'm not sure if an 8 is too big for this or not, but we'll try it out. Should have 2. There's one that goes through there, and then another one that goes through here under the skirt. I mean, I think that will be fine, but we'll find out. We might have to use a 6, and I need a long driver. Hey, Martin. All right, make sure that goes down through there. Yeah, I don't think it is. What size is that supposed to be? That's way bigger than an 8. Like way longer, I think. Was it a 10, 12? I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, it's probably like a 12. Let's see, what do I have available? I've got some 12s here. There's some 12s in the kit, but we'll see. I'll go ahead and use these for now. So how was everyone's Christmas? I know we didn't get to super chat during Sunday's stream. It's just the nature of having 200 people on. You don't really get to engage as much as I would like. We chose to not do very much. We chose to just sort of stay home and let the girls play with all their new things and stuff. They got a VR headset and whatnot. Christmas was great. Lots of family time. Yeah, same. Lots of family time. And then because Christmas, you don't really want to go anywhere. I took them out yesterday to spend their gift cards and to do some lunch. And so we had a daddy-daughter date, which is pretty cool. I enjoyed it. Feel like that is kind of barely sitting flush on there, so that should be okay. And then this one is a longer than a 12. Maybe it's a 20. How many 20s in this kit? Yeah, there's 3 20s in the kit. Glad to stop hemorrhaging Christmas money. Dude, same. So I'll give you guys some insight on what I'm thinking here, right? So I'm not a huge like make full-length videos kind of guy. That's not the flavor of YouTube that I enjoy. I really enjoy just hanging out and doing stuff, but Twitch is difficult for me, and so I stream on YouTube instead. In reality, I'd like to do like a short. Shorts are about as much as I want to get to. And the short I want to make is a Christmas haul kind of short. And I just want to show off like all the things that I've gotten or have done. I want to make it funny. That's kind of my personality. And I want to post that. So that's my video idea, my short idea. I don't know if it'll hit or not. We'll see. Oh, geez, why is this so difficult? I just want to add a screw through this hole, but it... Oh, a 20 is too short still. What does it need to be then? A 25? That is crazy. Are there any 25s? Yes, there are a bunch of 25s. Socket head. Any button head? Yeah, there's some button heads as well. Let's try button heads. Yeah, this is an interesting build. So trying to go off of the CAD that doesn't really list every nut and bolt. Let me see if I can move this around at all. It was great, even though you had to work nights. You had to work nights? All right, what is this one? Oh, it is a 25 right there. Yep, it's a 25, looks like a socket head. Okay. Well, it turns out if you read the instructions, you might find out what you're supposed to do. Come on. Well, it's because I still put a button head in there, and that's why it didn't fit. Christmas was a bust. Family drama, I think you mean but glad to be done. Nut glad also, probably. Just on the struggle bus, trying to get this 1 foot. There we go. Let's get a couple threads on that one and then place that where it should be. And we'll get our M3x8 out. Family, but I swear I can't type. I'm the same sometimes, especially on mobile. I rarely watch YouTube on PC, and so I'm almost always on mobile and chatting in mobile when you guys see me doing things and stuff. All right, so that one is good. Remember, it is plastic, so we don't need to yoink on it. You need to fix your sleep for work next. Dude, same. I've been all over the place. Anywhere, like, so this morning was a 3 o'clock in the morning wake up time. Yesterday was 4:30. Day before that was like 4. Like, I'm all over the place. I need to get back to a 4:30 time frame. It is not a wrap. It's not painted. Cybertech. It's laser engraved. So if you're interested in something like this, Pathetic Puma, who was in chat earlier, may still be around. Focal point engraving is where you want to go. Send your frame in to Pathetic Puma and he'll take care of you. With any logos you want, any design you want, just send him the artwork if he doesn't already have it, and then he'll take care of engraving it for you. Anything from 15 frames like this up to probably even a rat rig frame if you ask nicely. You're the captain of the struggle bus? Dude, I would challenge you for that title. Have you seen my streams? Holy Christmas. Oh, you have a laser? Yeah, so I think you need Cybertech. I don't know what kind of laser he uses or not. I'm not a super laser guy. I think it needs to be a CO2, but I don't really know. It might be a MOPA. I don't know. But yeah, if you wanna do it, I just prefer, like, instead of trying stuff for myself for the first time, I'd rather somebody that already does it just kind of do it and then let me practice on something I don't care about. So if you have extra extrusions, I recommend you practice first. You don't want to mess up a good frame. But you don't have time? Yeah, so exactly, right? So I don't have time to learn how to do all this. I've also got a laser, but I don't have time to learn laser stuff. I definitely don't have time to screw up a frame just to have to build on Sunday for stream and, you know, not be prepared. So I'd rather outsource things like that to skilled people who already do this kind of stuff. All right. Those look good. Let's do the ones at the rear. Let's move this CAD product. Am I getting in your way too much, folks? Let me know if I am. I'm not really paying attention a ton. CO2 would work to remove the anodized coating. MOPA would be too small of a workspace without a conveyor. Yeah, again, like I said, I don't know how the process works. I just know that not every type of laser can laser everything. So, whatever that means. Let's get the rest of these nuts out of the way. I need one over there. Uh-oh, come on now. Trying to get it past that center hole there. It's catching up pretty good. All right. So another one of these. It's a good deal. Snagged 10 piece of 2 meter 2020 for $80. Nice, man. Yeah, it's a good find. I don't have a saw to cut my own. So I generally just like to buy frame kits or have them pre-cut for me, which can get pricey. I probably should just buy a saw, but you know, me cutting something straight may be a limiting factor. Ah, caught it. On a homemade slide jig, do it up. Yeah, if you get the skill set and the tools, do it. I probably have the skill set. I don't have the tools, nor do I have the space for the tools all the time. Two 2x4s and 2 pieces of aluminum angle. I love it. I love a good scrappy DIY project. All right, this last one, I believe I need to put these together before I start to anchor this, because there's this heat insert here that lines up with this hole on the foot. So I want to make sure that I attach that. Looking at the CAD over here, how is this attached? Flip all the way, there we go. If I turn this off, how is it attached? What is that? It's a 12. Looks like a socket head 12. Yeah, I think these are all socket heads, but the kit came with a lot of button heads. I do prefer socket head though, they strip less. You know, honestly just printed a miter box of the frame size and use a fine-tooth jack saw. I don't know what a jack saw is. File fine to clean it up. Limited on funds. Same. Yeah, these builds, you know, they are not always free. So it's do what your hobby allows, do what you can get away with, but don't put yourself in a bad spot doing this kind of stuff. At the end of the day, it's supposed to be a hobby, it's supposed to be fun, and it's not fun if you put yourself out too much. Oh, I guess there's another hole there for stuff. Hacksaw, got you. Dude, what is going on here? Is this different? All right, let's take another look at the CAD. There's another hole. Let's turn that off. What is that? It's a 16. I didn't realize there was two. M3 by 16. Here we go. Just salad fork, going to be a MadMax. Yes, Pathetic Booma, it will be. That is the plan, is to make it a MadMax. So I've got double tool head parts. You can kind of see some in the background there. So I've got my carriages printed here. So this will be the carriage piece. That's the tool head piece. And I've got two of those. I've got a couple of nudges made. I've got tool head parts made for ant heads, so I've got two of those done up. Yeah, it should be a MadMax at the end of this. Working on making an Ender 5 you save from a dumpster. That's a good find if you can save one from the dumpster. Merc 1 and MadMax, that'd be cool. Way more accurate cuts on a table saw. That does make sense to me. right, this guy. Here, that's way too long. I wonder if that's a 20 instead of a 25. So this 1 foot is so different than the other 3. Kind of lulls you in a false sense of security. They did not include 20s in here that I can find. So, are these 20s? So I'm gonna give you guys a little tighter shot on the printer itself here. I did end up getting a new camera. However, I failed to get a battery. It came with a battery, but one of those batteries that you plug into the wall that's like a fake battery. I did not get one of those, so I can't use it today. I'd like to, although the OBSbot that I have right now is working a lot better than the camera, just from the sense of like having the ability to zoom in and pan like we just did is a bonus of using the tiltable Tiny 2 for those that are interested in streaming or doing any kind of stuff like this. And then those look like 8s through there. I wish we use the same hardware for everything. Changing tools gets annoying. Come on. All right, I need you to go straight through here, like that. Thank you. Thank you for your cooperation. Yeah, I really feel like I need 6s here, guys. I know that in the CAD it's saying use 8s and whatnot, but like I think with the no drop nuts, they're bottoming out on the plastic of the no drop nuts. So I think I need 6s in this location. I do have a few just like spare 6s here. Let me try one of those. I think that'll be a much better fix for us. Yeah, I like that better. So I'm gonna swap these 2 out for 6s. Happy New Year, Nathan. You're building an ant head as well for your nebula build. Nice. I like ant head. I like that you can add a box turtle if you would want to. I like that it has the leaf cutter and things like that. Yeah, ant head looks good in my opinion. A4T looks good as well. It's just really wide. And so if I were to use it on this, I'd be giving up a lot of X travel at the very front of the printer to be able to accommodate ant head. Oh, sorry, A4T. So with that in mind, I've chosen to go with ant head. All right, there's all 4 feet. Let's see what else we can work on. Yeah, so in this CAD, they're saying M3 by 6s. I was using M3 by 8s on the other one. Channel 4 thermistor, we're not doing that. Keystone jacks, switches, cool. Should be good with all of that. I think I can do either the rest of the skirts or the corner parts. But the cool thing about these is the corner parts actually overlay the skirt a little bit. So I can't directly, well, I guess I could slide it underneath. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, I didn't get any 6s in the kit, as far as I can tell. Gave me a bunch of 8s. But even in the manual for this, it calls out 6s. You have the Tube Compact and an ant head on your Micron. Been pretty nice. I also have a Tube Compact. I have 2 of them. One is in my antithesis. The other is in the inertia cube that is not really playing nice, and I have gotten frustrated and just left that project to the side. So now you're starting to see how the theme's going to be. I need to get back to it, honestly. I tend to get really bad when I get frustrated over a build, and I'm frustrated with the inertia cube. I'll put it to the side and it'll just sit there until I get ready to deal with it again. The problem on that one is just, I don't know if it's a Leviathan thing, because we had it printing with a Corvus G board. I sold that board in trade for a Leviathan, and then had to add on the expansion board. But when I did that, it's almost like 2 of the motors are not working. They're not talking to one another. So I don't know if it's a communication thing between those 2 boards, but I need to go back and revisit, and or swap it out for something that's not a Leviathan. Just had a Core 1 Plus delivered. Congratulations. I still want one of those. I would really love a Core 1L, but I want the kit version. I don't want the pre-built. And that's not available. I wonder if it's not available like that because they're waiting for Index to come out and they'll just launch it as a all-in-one package. That'd be really cool. Index on a Core 1L. That's like dream goals there. All right. So there is our Skelefork theme starting to come together. He said I didn't order one as I built the kit. Fegley has the Dragon Burner on the Nebula. Nice. Dragon Burner is Old Faithful. All right, then they have us putting feet on. This does use the larger feet, and then we use M5 nuts underneath. I think I have those back here. Let me grab these. I did not bring the parts around. So let me do that. Yeah, I'm not seeing any feet in the package here. I wonder if it did not come with them. I've got some, but I thought this was like an all-in-one, hey, you get everything you need kind of kit. Maybe that's not the case. Maybe that's not the case. But I do have feet down here. Here we go. Four giant feet. I think these are the right ones. No, they don't line up all the way. So maybe they're not. Let's try these. Actually, yeah, let's try these. Bonus Core 1, Core 1L, AC mains bed, yes, correct. Yeah, so these will be a little taller than maybe what they should be, but it's what I have, and so that's what we're going to go with. Some hex nuts here. Should have 4 of those. Would have been nice to put these in beforehand, but here we are. We'll just hold them that way, and then we use the only M5 hardware in the kit is these No one has a printer foot fetish. No, these are long boy feet. That's what we have. I've got 3 other sets of these, and they're all the same height. And then I've got the giant compressor feet that we would use on a 2.4. Those are just, as far as like diameter wise, they're too big. And then I need a giant tool because M5s are larger. Those look like the chocolate drop candy. Yeah, they do kind of look like gumdrops. I think they're called crows, right? The dots that are black, licorice. I think they're called crows. Yeah, it's going to be nice to have the frame up off of the ground so we're not scratching. I'm trying my best not to move this around. I did clean the table, so there should not be like dust and gunk and whatever else on there that would scratch, but even so, I don't want to be moving this around too much. Your mom called them something else, but you can't say it. I can only imagine. I can only imagine. Yeah, but I'm used to calling them crows. That's what it says on the box. And then the colorful ones I think are dots, called dots. Let's get rid of some of this garbage. Did it end with toes? Yes, that's what I was thinking as well. Pathetic Puma. Growing up in the South, you get all of the different kind of things. All right, so that one and that one. He said, yep, I know exactly what you guys are talking about. I've also heard that. Not cool, Grandma. You guys are killing me. All right, last one. No, Raj, LTX is not doing panels. He's completely sandbagged me on panels. Jerk face. He decided it was more important to move to a new place than to help the community with panels. I dropped that on the ground and I'm not sure where it went. I think it might belong to the garage from now on. Oh, well, good thing we got spares over here. You could do the Stealth Fork logo, yeah. Yeah, I didn't realize that you did panels, Pathetic Puma. Mine did come with panels. In the kit came with panels, but they're not custom panels, they're just normal panels. But yeah, if you want to do a thing, dude, I would gladly work on some custom panels with you. Just DM me like normal, and then we'll discuss ways and means. I know, so selfish, LTX. The name, the nerve of some folks, I know. I hope that's grabbing onto it. I feel like I'm turning this a lot and it's not getting tighter. Come on. All right. That is in there. Is this just not compressing down? It's like one thread short from catching on to that nut. Like I can feel it sort of moving like it wants to grab, but it doesn't grab. Come on, dude. Yeah, it's just not grabbing on. Hold on, let me try. Let's try this. So I'm going to hold it in there with this larger driver because this is getting ridiculous. Hold it in there with the larger driver and then see if it'll allow me to tighten with this one. Should be able to do black acrylic, 2 passes, like 90 something at 80 to 90%. Finally, there we go. All right, 4 feet installed, or crows for those that are thinking they look like gumdrops. All right, that's awesome. Get that off the top there. Sweet. So now we get to do motors, it looks like. You need me time to play with it. Cut them on the CNC router. All right, Z motors. Fantastic. That's what I was hoping to get to. So I've got these. This is one from the Skelefork repo. And that's the rear. There's a small cutout there for wiring. And then these are salad fork ones, which is not exactly the same, but I did like that they had the extra. They didn't print as well as I would like them to, so I may end up replacing them after stream, but this is what we have right now. So I'm gonna put these on with the idea that I'll go back and look for other ones. In fact, let's take a look at what the standard Stealth Fork comes with. So if I'm looking at Stealth Fork and I look through their repo here, STL wise, they do come with different Z mounts, but they don't have any extra logos or anything on them. They just are, sorry, let me find the right one, motor mount. They just are plain like this, yeah? And I did not print these. I guess I could inject a Stealth Fork logo onto the front of this. I'll just need to jump in CAD and drop that in there. And the idea is it just matches the rest of the theme with the angular design. And then there are inserts that go around the lead screws here to fill in this hexagon shape with a different color. And that's where your design comes from. But I do like that these have the Salad Fork logo on it. So I think for now we'll put these on and see what happens. Send you your logo to put on it? Yeah, send it to me. Is there an SVG? Yeah, I gotta find it and then I could drop it in the slicer and do it that way. Tracking what you guys are saying, and it's just plastic. We can reprint. Cybertech, if you send me a logo, I will do a thing. But yeah, for now we'll put these on and we'll see if I ever get back to changing it. Definitely want to spend some time doing cleanup items today. I still need to finish tuning the Delta Flyer from Sunday so I can get that sort of put to bed. And then also prep for Sunday stream. You guys are tracking Sunday stream, yeah? We're doing a new build. It'll be a legacy fork, which Nathan is in the chat. It's his design there. So he took the legacy gantry and put it on a trident. So that's that one. And then Boothy's helping me out with making sure the Z axis will work. We're going to do a belted Z axis on it. I was having a little bit of trouble getting it aligned, but it sounds like we'll be okay once we get Boothy on the case. And then we've got these two here. I'll slide these way far, and then we'll put those in last. All right, so that's that. Did I remember to throw stickers in the box with your frame? I did not get stickers from you that I remember. I usually keep those pretty handy. Yeah, I did not get stickers. Well, that's okay. I'm not worried about it. You can make it into an SVG, made it in CAD, working on a bomb for your XR10. Might be able to send you the hardware and the STLs when it is ready. Cybertech, I would love to build something different and unique. If you have an idea, let's talk about it and see if it's a good fit. I want to do it justice. Okay. Where did I put the... There we go, manual. These are in 3x12s. This guy. So let's put these over here. Let's put these here. Just DM the CAD simplest with 8mm reduction on Z. Perhaps adjust cross rails to accommodate cross rails. Cross rails. I'd have to. I'm having a hard time understanding what that means, so I'll have to look at it. But I do appreciate you. Thank you so much. Wants us to do the rears first. That's fine. We can do that. Let's do it like so, so you guys can see. Move the camera down. What is up with the focusing here? Oh, that's why. Duh. We didn't have the autofocus on. You guys didn't say anything. Looks like we're doing the motor in first. Okay. I thought we would put the mount on the frame first, but sure. Whatever you want. So we got these sweet black Teflon coated motors here. These are pancake motors. LDO 42 STH 25 1004 CL 200 ET boron motors. So for those looking for the model, come on, focus, you can do it, I promise. There we go. There's your motor specs if you're looking for them. Your eyes are bad. Thought it was you. No, it's all good, man. Like, it's I didn't realize that I had turned autofocus off. I think I did that for Sunday's stream, because just how we were doing it. Turned it off and then forgot to turn it back on. Originally, I had thought I was going to use my new camera today, but that did not happen. No, but do you guys want to see the new camera? I'll show you. So this is what your support got for the channel. So through support and YouTube funds and whatnot, we got the Sony, what is this, a ZV-E10 II. So this right here should help get you better shots, better close-ups, whatever it is that you would like. Plan to try and do shorts and things using this camera versus my phone, which is how I'm doing it right now. And yeah, so thanks guys. And then just yesterday as well, while we're at it and showing off things, these are what I got for the not the members build, but for the Sunday stream. So when we start building that new Trident, these are frame braces from Traxman. They're laser cut steel. So just this package has, it looks like 6 frame braces in there. It comes with 12. There's another package like this over there. Thanks, Nozzle Clog. So there's another package of this, so there'll be 12 of these. So 4 for each side of the printer, and this weighs probably 5 pounds, 6 pounds, just for these. So it's gonna add mass to the printer while bracing it really nicely. So super excited for that. I gotta figure out a way to either paint these. I don't wanna keep them raw. I think they may rust or oxidize, and I don't know that I like that. So I gotta figure that out. I don't know if I'm going to just rattle can them black. Black is just really boring for me. So until I figure that out, I've kind of left these to the side. I've got time before we get to that point, but you'll see these on Sunday for the build. I got those from Traxman. Clear coat them, I could do that. Thought about it. That way we could still see the steel. It's been pretty rainy and stuff lately. I need to clean them, prep them, and then clear coat them if I'm gonna do that. Engine turn. Is that where you just like take a rotary and just brush circles onto them? I would love to do that. It sounds like a lot of work. Again, I don't have the tools to do stuff like that either. Antique bronze spray paint. Kind of has a texture from the Home Depot. Rat rod rust. No, that's not really what I want to do with this particular build. This build, like we said, is going to be Taco Bell. It's going to be Taco Bell. If you missed the last member stream we did the other day, this is the color theme for that build. So you guys are getting a first look. So this looks like orange, and it is a very dark yellow, but it really reminds me of like the nacho cheese at Taco Bell. It's Polymaker Neon Yellow. And then this is Decent, that's the brand name, Decent ABS Glass Fiber Dark Purple. And then Polymaker Pop Pink. So those are your 3 colors for that, but that's gonna be the theme of it. And then the frame is blue. The frame is blue. So with that in mind, I don't want to do like a rusted look. I like it, just not for this build. So I think either the brushed and clear coated look, but I don't have a rotary. Sander to be able to do that. So if it is brushed, it'll be just like, you know, straight across type brushed. Taco Bell is doing $1 crunch wraps today. Yep, I'm going after stream, and then the wife is going to go, and then I'm going to send each one of the kids, and I'm going to have 4 crunch wraps today. Crunch wraps are my vice. I don't do a lot of Taco Bell, really at all, but you know, every once in a while you got to run a little diesel through the gas tank. I don't know what the special day is for them to be able to do $1 crunch wraps, but it sounds good. Just say not to Taco Bell for you. Gergman, not a Taco Bell fan. Speaking of, what? It's the echo? What? Am I echoing? Hammer paint rattle can? Maybe. How about Baja Blast? Ooh, I don't hate it. Sprinkle water drops on metal, paint over the drops, let dry, then clear, make it look like a carbonated drink. Not a terrible idea. Although that Baja Blast, like, what is it, like a, oh man, it's more like a teal, greeny color, right? I don't know if that would work. But I do like that idea. No echo, blue, yeah. Love Crunch Wrap Supremes, yeah, same. Seafoam, that's a good term, seafoam. Okay, this got us doing all the motors before we install them on the frame. I love that they tell you what direction to put the wires, though. That is helpful. I would have sort of guessed and tried to have them align with what the board is doing. When you're doing stealth fork, there's a spacer. I think it's in the mods section. There's a spacer that you're supposed to put at the rear to be able to, I don't know, run a different hot end that may hit the lead screw. I printed that. I don't know that we need it or not, but I've got it, and we'll see. Or blue Powerade, same difference. All right, this one goes that way at the front, so the wires need to go towards the middle, I suppose. All right, let's stop going off script here. Let's do, where's this one? All right, so using this as the guide, that's what the CAD shows, and then wires go to this side here. That's what I'm seeing. So wires towards the center of the build. Where are all of my tools? Oh, this one. Baja Blast with some vodka. Yeah, dude, if we live next to a cantina Taco Bell, absolutely. Get vinyl wrap that looks like tortillas. You know, if you have a link for me, you are a mod. You're able to post links in there. If you have a link for me, I'd love to see it. I've not seen wrap that looks like a tortilla. I've seen blankets and things that look like tortillas. We were at Walmart the other day, and they had a lounge blanket that you would sit on the couch and cover up with. I guess a throw is probably the correct term. But they had a tortilla-looking one. Oh, no, they actually do. Rachel is essential. Oh, I'll take a look. Let's take a look at this thing here in a second. I'm not opposed. I'm not opposed. I still need to get a vinyl printed Taco Bell logo. I was going to do that on the back panel, but let's take a look at what Cybertech sent us over here. Tortilla 1 vinyl wrap. It's only $4. I feel like we almost have to do it. Tortilla corners on a Taco Bell printer. Oh, these are tumblers, tape strips. And then you could do a 12 by 12 square. I think the panel is larger than 12 by 12 though. And this website, like how long, I gotta figure out how long it would take. Ooh, and you can send in images, so I can send them a Taco Bell image and they can make one for me. Okay, I'll check it out. But 12 by 12 is a little bit small. I would probably have to reach out to them to see if they can go a little larger than that. The panels are, I've got them behind me, hold on. Panels are right back here. Back panel is probably where I would do it. And it's pretty big. It's pretty big. That's a lot larger than 12 by 12. So I don't know that would really work for us. Let's move this chat to a place that makes sense. And then I also need to figure out how to put like a mask behind it or something so we could actually read what's happening there. all you need to do is get a tattoo and send your pics. Someone is looking for free Taco Bell for life. One per person. I don't know if it's limited to one per person. I would imagine it is. Like I don't think they could give you, you know, if you walked in and it was like, hey, I want 8 crunch wraps. I don't know that they would give you 8 crunch wraps for $8. Guys like you, Jack in the Box, had 12-cent tacos on the 12, 12, 12, so you got 12. Yeah, I don't think it's a bad idea. Let me put you back over here on this. There we go. Bring the CAD back up. Let's see. I think this, so for Stealth Fork, the CAD that they provide is just all of the things. It's just the shirt stuff. And so if we were to look at Salad Fork CAD, that may be a little easier for us. Probably be able to find some somewhere. It was just a quick search. Yeah, I'll take a look. It's a great idea. I'm silly enough to try some stuff like that. Let's see if that CAD actually opens. And if it doesn't, that's fine. We'll download it later and figure it out. Okay, for this one, looks like wires go like so. So, well, that's weird. This way, this way. Okay, so they go towards the middle. So that'll go that way. That'll go that way. That doesn't make any sense. Like, I feel like it should go towards the center of the thing. Yeah. Like the opposite. It'd be mirrors of each other instead of the way that that is showing on there. Yeah, I'm going to do it this way. Oh, I remember too. I also printed these skirts because, I'm sorry, not these skirts, these mounts because I want to do the inverted electronics panel. So if I do that, I would need to modify the Stealth Fork skirts, which I can do. I've done it for the build we're doing on Sunday. But I have not done it for Stealth Fork. Yeah, so we're going to do, on this one, the plan is to have inverted electronics so that we could see what's going on. But then also, I'm on the fence whether or not I want to do the Physis Tech electronic mount system. Because I don't know that there's one available for this. They have one for Micron, but I didn't see one for a 180 salad fork. So I would have to create that myself. And I'm not sure that I want to live that life. It's a lot of CAD work. I'm not super great at it, and I don't have a ton of time to get great at it. All right, there's our motors. All right, now we can mount these, finally. Jeez. All right, we can see that, yes. All right, I don't know that the CAD is gonna open up here, and that's fine, I'll deal with it later. I need this back, all right. Wherever possible, parts use small slots for screws, making it easier to align the screw with the preloaded M3 hex nut. Cool, and these are M3 by 10s. I don't know that 10s are here. Where are 10s? These. All right. Let's move these over here. align that guy. I like how they grab on and stay where it's supposed to be. That's helpful. That way you don't need 4 hands to do things. You went inverted on your Trident, but just for your MCU and Pi, made it where it's going to just be a small clear panel near the front and mounted the PSU's normal. Okay. That's cool. It's different. Either way, I would need to make a system for that. I think if I did traditional inverted electronics, it would be fine, and that's what I've printed. So I've got the mounts for the DIN rails to be inverted. I was just saying that the EMS, that Physis Tech product, I don't have things for that. That's all I'm saying. It's a pain and a lot of extra extrusions. Yeah, but it looks cool. I think the when you think about pain and all that kind of stuff, like the most painful printer is the one that you're currently building. After it's done, it's whatever. So like when we were doing the inertia cube, that was a pretty painful build for several reasons. And then we got it figured out, and you know, now the most painful build was the Prusa wire. And so I'm so happy to have that done, out the door, just not over my head. All right, that's that one. You're building your Trident's electronics in the side of the printer. Okay, so a side pack with 2 panels. Goal is to make it easier to access, but also reduce the volume. Yeah, that sounds cool. We were talking about side packs earlier. I'm not sure if you were here for that one, but side pack sounds like something that a few folks wanted to do, me included. I would love to have a side pack. I did see I think it was a Tiny T with a side pack. I'm not sure where I saw it, but it looked cool. And then when I was at Rocky Mountain, the Box Turtle guys had an AT-180, which is Armored Turtle 180, I think. So it's like a Micron with a side pack and filament cutter and all that kind of stuff. It was also water cooled, which was pretty great for the show. No side packs, stock footprint. Oh, I see. Okay, so you're going smaller in the bed and just shifting everything to the side? That way you share the same chamber? Like, what size is your build to be able to do that? I would think that something like a 250 would not have enough space to be able to give up real estate for things. You want to do a 300 side pack, but use a 250 bed so you can do MadMax with A4T. Bryce, that sounds like a great plan. I've seen that the MadMax folks are updating a lot of the info and adding that to the repo. So I'm hoping that MadMax builds become more prevalent. You have some decent room beside the bed on. You do. You have some decent room. Where you get into trouble, though, is that your extrusions are the backers for your rails. And so if I move this over, the cross T piece that holds the bed also has to move in by however much I do it. And so I can only go so far before my bed needs a place to mount. And if I can't mount that bed, then I get into like a weird space. I mean, it's just not everything is possible. You can do it. It's just a matter of how much design work do you want to do and how many custom parts are you going to have to make to be able to do it. All right, we'll get the rear on, we'll get the Z's on, we'll finish up the Z motion system, and hopefully go ahead and call the stream there. So maybe another 30 minutes or so, I think. And we should have things in a good place for this stream. Also using 10s on this. All right, and then 2 more through the front. So let me spin this. Let's get the long driver out. And then 2 more 10s through the front. You're gonna need to continue streaming for at least another 5 hours until you're off work. Kago, I'm not against it, man. I just got stuff to do today. I gotta get, so we had a guy who's not a member order some Delta Flyer parts. I did not get a chance to send those out yesterday, so I need to make a stop by the post office and drop that off. I need to send Mike's filament. I haven't forgotten about you, Mike. I just wanted to make 1 trip, not 2. So I need to do that. And then I got to go get my crunch wraps, man. I can't not get my crunch wraps. Yeah, 5 hours, I don't know. I always want to support other folks and not go over their streaming time. And so if it were up to me, I would stream maybe a little bit longer on Sundays, and I think eventually I might do that a little bit, but I just don't like going over top of Steve. I like watching Steve. I like watching Jeremy and Kilo on Saturdays. I like watching Zombie and Pez Liz on Mondays. And so I try not to do those times. 250 Trident all-wheel drive. Flip the gantry for top mount. Electronic bays on the side. AC on the left. DC on the right. They will cleat the bed. Oh, clear the bed by about 5 millimeters on each side. Nice. That sounds great. Basically takes up the space, same amount of space as the Trident internal spool holders. I see. Okay. Yeah, Sunday we're going to start a 250 build. It'll be a blue build. That's the one we were just talking about. But Pathetic Puma, if you have like a render or a CAD or a picture of this thing, I would love to see that. Drop me a picture on Discord. I like really interesting, different kind of builds. And yours definitely sounds interesting. Okay. So I did one thing correct, and I printed all of the Stealth Z-axis carriage parts. These are a little more angular than the stock Stealth. The stock salad fork parts, but really the same. They still use the same GE5Cs. They still use the same carriages, all that stuff. It's just, do you like it? Do you like your parts with curves or not? If you hate curves, then you should probably do Stealth fork. And then they still also have the other parts, the layer pieces that go on the bottom. I don't even know what these are called, but these little pieces that go onto the bottom of your carriages like that to make them pretty. It's also still got those. So I just need to find the other 2 parts. No, I had them. There they go. need this one here. Got it. All right. Other 2 parts saved. If you ever need something custom designed in CAD, you're always welcome to hit you up, or any of us. I do appreciate that. I often have need for CAD things and stuff. My skill sets are such that I can get through a lot of it. It just takes me a lot longer than someone that is more well-versed. So I do appreciate the offer. I will keep that in mind. If I need something, I'll reach out to you. I appreciate you. You guys are awesome. Sounds like we think about the same stuff. Yeah, basically it takes up the same amount of space. You have an old screenshot on your Discord you can try and find. Yeah, if you got one, man, no big deal if you can't. I was just curious. I'm a visual learner. And so if I see the thing, I'm much more able to envision what you mean. Okay, I need 2 more hex nuts that I don't have because they gave me 4 in the kit, which is enough for the skirts that we just put on. It's probably because in the regular salad fork kit, they don't have M5 nuts in the skirts like that. And so we used the hardware in the other spaces. So it's got us doing our sides first. M5 there, another one on this side. You sent the old one. New version is less extrusion and split. Cool, thank you. I'll take a look as soon as we get done with stream. I don't know if these are supposed to be, so that's a thin nut. So I've got thin M5s and regular thickness M5s. Mixed together is what it seems like. So let's do a thin version here. That way there's no protrusion out the bottom. There we go. That looks a lot better. And then I'll need a third one for the other axis. Yeah, I didn't realize I had both mixed together. Foul on me. All right. I know that's going to go in there, so we'll just go ahead and place that. Actually, that's deeper. Let's use a big boy. There we go. Okay, those are in. And then it has us put on these covers on the bottom to retain the M5 hardware. That is the wrong side. So we'll do this one here. And it's okay. It looks like there are a detail here to accept a taller M5 nut. So if you get the thick versions, it should still work. And we're going to retain these with M3x8s, which seems a little bit large for what this is, but we'll go with it. Oh, that's a 10. That's why that seems large. Spin this around, grab some 8s. Downside of just dumping your hardware into a tray like that. But I think the issue is the baggies are not resealable. They're not like little Ziploc bags. They are tear open bags, which using that, I tend to drop a lot of things if I can't reseal it right away. So I'd rather fumble through a tray, I think. Dude, I like that. I like the way that looks. Yeah, so I tried to keep mainly dark purple and lighter blue. That way we get like the Skeletor body. Because really when you look at Skeletor, only his face is ever really yellow. Everything else on the dude is purple and blue. So he's got blue skin, wears purple clothes. Of course, there's like some black and I think his chest piece, depending on what you look at, might be like a bone color or a white color. And so most of the parts on this are going to be the blue and purple. The tool heads are going to be yellow because that makes the most sense. You're on a lot of the Discords, either Pathetic Puma or Puma Focal Point. Yeah, Pathetic Puma, I think we are in a lot of the same Discords. I think I have, I don't know, something like 25 to 30 different servers that I'm in of various types, various projects, just random things that I'm interested in. I can't really keep up with any of it, I'll be honest with you. But every once in a while, I'll see something interesting that will spark an idea or a direction that I want to go with things, which is why I tend to kind of be in as many places as possible. The best place to get me is either through direct message or more of the main servers. So my own, you'll find me on the Doom Cube server quite a bit. Thundercats. Dude, I like Thundercats. I've wanted to do a Thundercat themed build. I'm just not sure what it would be. And Thundercats are cool, not silly. I'm more of a silly kind of person. Skeletor is pretty silly. That's why he's my favorite, not superhero, but like cartoon character kind of person. So, sweet. It is the 2-hole version that I printed. I think I have 2-hole things. If not, we'll print some. Sweet. So those 3 are built. Wants us to go ahead and put the what are the lead screw nuts in there? Oh, are you kidding me? All right, check this out. This is a foul. So this is the configurator kit that I got from West 3D. And it comes with a 3-part lead screw nut. Teflon, which is great, you know, that's fine. And then the spring type, right? So you can add tension to your lead screw, right? And that's fine. The problem is this is the rectangle version, not the rounded version. I think it will still work. It still fits in there. And the guide only has you do 2 screws anyway. So I think it'll be fine, but it's worth noting that it's not exactly what you would expect. You have the Sword of Omens tattooed on your shins. Holy crap. Anti-backlash, yes. Snarf was the silly comic relief on Thundercats. Snarf is pretty silly. Snarf is pretty silly. So I'm thinking, like, which way does this go? Maybe you guys can help me out. Do I put the spring like on top of the lead screw, like so? When I'm mounting this, I feel like that would come off the end. Or does it need to go down and dropped on the floor? Oh, where'd it go? Come on, don't do that to me. There you are. Or does it need to go down? Sounds cooler than the 8-bit Mario Mushrooms 19-year-old me got tattooed on his arms. Yeah. So I think these need to go down because I would be afraid that those pop off the top when we come to the top. So I think that's the way I'm going to go. The cool thing is we don't need those lock nuts necessarily. I'll probably do them anyway, but it looks like it's not required. So we'll go this direction based on what I'm seeing in the photo. And these are held in by M3x12s. Socket head cap screw, yes. So 12. Let's get out the driver. So again, going through here. Come on. Butterfingers here trying to get things to work together, just not working out. All right. So now I'll put you in there like so. Then we'll grab another one. Dude, how much did a tattoo on your shins feel though? Like, how much did that hurt? That sounds very painful. I've got a few, but nothing on my shins or really bony areas like that. I think the boniest I had, I've got something on my chest, but not, you know, across the middle of my sternum or anything. And then I think I'm supposed to leave these lightly, yes, do not over tighten. The nut should be able to slide around horizontally, but should not be able to move vertically. Okay. I'm seeing some horizontal moves there. Vertically, I don't think it moves. Just give it like a little bit of a turn. Only 1 inch is on the bone. Ugh. Still though, like 1 inch is a lot when you're going through it. Okay, I think that's good. And then I want us to do lock nuts on there, so let me find those. You'll post a pic in live stream chat? Yeah, man, do it up. That's what it's for. Let me go over there and take a look. There's a lot of messages going on in there right now. Sorry, I should probably have live stream chat open all the time while streaming, but I am terrible about it. Pathetic Puma, seeing your photo, it's like all grayed out. I can't. I'm not sure what's going on with it. It's almost like a spoiler, but not coming up as a spoiler. I don't know. Okay, lock nuts. And I got my lock nut driver somewhere. Not you. What did I do with it? What did I do with it? Oh, right here. Duh. Let's get this little angled driver thing. And I don't remember exactly where I got this, but I think it came with a printer or something. Same on yours, you re-uploaded it. Yeah, I'll take a look. Let me finish up here. All right, that feels like it still moves a little bit, which is what we want. And then we can always go back and adjust if really needed, but geez, what happened? It's like way loose. It came out of there for some reason. Come on, fingers, work, pick it up. Oh, I see what's going on. It's like undoing itself, so let's try this. After we get that on there, let's go ahead and tighten this back down just a little bit. So again, we want horizontal movement, but not vertical movement according to the instructions here. And I think that's good enough. Let's see if that moves. Yeah, should be fine. All right, let me see what you posted. Ooh, that looks cool. Yeah. I like that a lot. I see what you mean now. Okay, so I was imagining, you know, an entirely separate, I don't know, like an entirely separate compartment. You just have it inside the frame, but like protruding inside. I see what you're doing. Okay. That looks really cool, man. It's a great idea. I think those might be a little bit tight. Let's undo that slightly. I've had this be too tight before on a full-size Trident, and it didn't work out. I was getting binding in my Z-axis. So I'd rather have them, you know, a little bit loose than too tight. Lower chamber volume for higher temps with less effort. Very cool. Are you running a chamber heater? I think eventually I want to do a chamber heater on the Trident that we're doing Sunday. I've got it set up right down here. I'll show you guys another sneak peek on what's going on. So I've got the spicy meatball all prepared, ready to go to drop in to a Trident. So the way this should work is on a Trident, you could put it here at the front, but then you run into the risk of your bed touching. And so where you probably should put it, unless you're going to extend this bracket out further, you probably should put it at the rear, down here somewhere, and it just mounts to the frame like so. These are for an SSR and a thermistor, and so I still need to drill an M3 hole and thread in a threaded M3 thermistor into this so that I have control over it, because right now it's just bang bang, so it's just on off, and then the fans blow air across the heater to circulate. I normally run Calico on all of my machines, and so Calico has a heated fan parameter that you can use, and that is my goal, is to use that parameter to control that fan. Is this a 12? Yes. Okay. That one, and these go sideways across. And then we've got one more. Check live stream chat, just posted them. Will do. Just give me 1 second here. Did you just like go to the bathroom and take photos of your shins? Oh man, that's funny. We were joking earlier about how people have to pay for that kind of access. Let me see what you got here. Ouch. Yeah, that looks crazy. What do you mean like 1 inch on the shins? Like that's the entire shin. That's crazy. Don't mind you sharing on stream. Yeah, I appreciate that. I'm not going to open Discord on stream though, just in case. But for those that are here, you can go over to Discord and check it out. No, you have had them. I have 6. Oh, they're offset. Okay, it's hard to tell from the photo. It looks like they're right down the center of your legs. And you got 2 of them too. That's a lot. Yeah, I've got this guy here. You guys probably see this one on stream a lot. So it's just a little stick figure. The wife has a matching version of this. It's kind of our couples thing that we did about a year ago, a little over a year ago. And then I've got one on my chest of my oldest daughter. I've got one on my left arm, one on my right arm. So I've got a few, not a ton. Just like everybody, like you want more, it just never get around to it, or you don't have an idea of exactly what you want. So if that one moves like that, I feel like I get this one too tight. Let me undo this one a touch. All right, I may have to go back and adjust those, but to get it moving, we'll get going here. All right, and then it wants us to put these 2 on, which is great. So the front 2 with M2x6s, button heads. All right. Tattoo on a printer. Yeah, that's what this kind of is, right? All this laser work here. It's kind of like a tattoo on a printer. All right, so I know first I'm gonna do these. I'll put that on there. And then this one is the wrong side, so we'll get the correct side here. And just sort of press that spring a little while we juice this up. I'm gonna get the notches aligned inside of the screw. There we go. All right, that's not gonna work out for me. I have to take this off. All right, so I think probably the better way to do it is to try and hold all of this together. Oh, you know what? It's not working because I put it on upside down. That makes total sense. Doing too much talking and not enough paying attention. So we will undo this one. Try again. Friend looks cool. Thanks, Kali 3D. Yeah, Pathetic Puma did this frame for us. So if you're looking for something similar, any size frame, he should be able to help you out at Focal Point Engraving. Okay, so now that that is the correct way around, it should work a lot better for us. And we need this nut on here. Not for the UK call. Yeah, you're right. I didn't realize you were in the UK. Thanks for joining us. Got a couple folks from the UK here today. If you care to share, how'd you find the stream? And what made you become a member? I'm always looking for feedback and ways to be better. I'm always looking for feedback on what you guys want to see. How can we make your membership more valuable? So if you have suggestions or ideas, I would love to hear it. You can drop it in chat. You can DM me. You can post it on Discord, whatever you prefer. Community, nice. Well, welcome. Just trying to adjust these so they're not so tight, and just probably a little too tight to have any sort of movement in there. And it's easier to get to now than it would be to get to on the printer. So I'm trying to do my due diligence now and make sure these are, you know, sort of equal. Found them on YouTube and started watching and then became a member. Thanks, Fegley. Yeah, I've seen you around in other streams and things like that. It's always cool to see folks that, you know, I see normally in the streams that I watch come over and watch my own. That's pretty cool. What is going on? Why is this not loosening? All right, we're good. So I think what I'm gonna do is to get this installed, I need to spring and retention clip on, and then we'll try to engage the two teeth with the slots on the other side. So while holding that package together, we've got to thread this onto this lead screw. So just by turning it a little bit, we should be able to get there. And then we spin this around to the correct direction, bring our carriage up to what looks to be aligned, and then we can drop those in. I'm gonna do the other side same way. So I'm just matching these up. You can see there's like a tooth. There's a tooth and a gap in this blue part. And you just wanna press those together so they mesh, and then you thread it on the screw. It's not the easiest thing in the world to do, but once you get it on the screw, you can use the screw as an anchor to press that down, and then it just kind of threads on. I'll bring that guy up as well. And we said 2x6s to get these in. That's these small little not button heads, socket heads that we have down here. Mainly watch you, Steve, and ModBot. Fegley, I do the same. So I watch a lot of Steve. I catch ModBot. I can't catch his live streams. He streams Wednesdays at noon for me. I am, you know, only halfway through my workday at noon, and so I don't get to catch ModBot very often. Every once in a while, if I catch him on lunch break. But yeah, I watch that. Lee Marie is another one that I watch a lot of. Who else? I'm trying to think of who else on YouTube that actually streams. Projects in Dad's Garage. Catch him when I can. And then also, what's the other guy? Armor 3D. Armor 3D. Dave is pretty fun. So just loosely putting these in right now. And then I'll go back and tighten in sort of a crisscross pattern as we get all four in. I just want to make sure everything is aligned before I start to tighten. And we'll get the other two carriages on. And sort of start wrapping up there. I know that Kegel wants me to go another 5 hours, but that's really not going to happen, sir. Just like that. Feels good. Oh, Digital Dragon, yes. But he's on Twitch. He's on Twitch. I thought we were talking about YouTube's. Canuck, I try to catch Taylor when I can. Again, he's got odd times for me in my schedule, so it's difficult to watch everybody all the time, especially for hours. Especially challenging when I'm at work. I don't have cell phone access. So during the workday, again, unless I come home at lunchtime or go, you know, off-site to lunch somewhere, I don't normally have access to YouTube. Which sucks, because I could be doing office work and just lurking, but no, not how it works out for me. post to YouTube a day or two later. Yeah, replays. So actually watching replays helps us more than catching it live. Like live is cool and you get instant engagement, you get your questions answered. If you need to look at something that is, I don't know, a little more close up or a little more detail, anything like that, watching live is great for that. Catching the replay helps the channel grow. That tells YouTube that folks are liking what you see, what you post, and so they start recommending it more. So it gets more widespread views at that point. So both are good. I would encourage you to do both for all of your favorite creators because it helps us. All right, let's get us moving on to the rear. I've already got the heat sets in there. And then we've got the hex nut on and we've got the bottom on. We just need to do that same thing that we were doing. Let's make sure we put it in the correct way around this time. Still trying to leave some room in there so that it can move. All right, it's just about 10:30. We're at the 2-hour mark right now. Probably going to start wrapping up once we get the rest of this assembled on the Z-axis. That was the goal today, is Z-axis. I'm not sure that I will do another members stream this year. The rest of the week it needs to be reserved for other things and stuff. And so I don't know that I'll have time, but I will be back on Sunday doing our next public build series, that Trident we keep talking about. So if you guys are around, it'd be great to have you. We've got some movement there. Let's get this other one on. It'd be kind of hard to do another stream this year. You only have tomorrow. I know, but that's the thing. Like, I could stream tomorrow. Steve will be streaming tomorrow. So it's possible. Okay, we've got some movement in there. I think I'm happy with that. It's always a little bit tedious to tell how much is too much, but I think as long as you have a little bit of lateral movement left and right in there, I know that's not focusing all the way. Focus, focus, there we go. So a little bit of lateral movement in there is really all you need. I'm gonna do that same trick that we did before, but we'll do it on this rear center. So again, a little hard to be able to see this, but match up the notch with the things, and then sort of try to hold everything together as we press this down onto the lead screw, give it a little turn to pull it down, and then we're good to go. There it is. All right. Okay, then we can sort of do our last couple of screws into the rail. It should be pretty much done with Z-axis assembly. This is why I like Tridents, man. They're so easy to put together. Why are you not aligned? Go to your home. What is happening? Why are you not? There it is. What's it say? It needs more lip gloss. Liz, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. But now that you're here, we have all the lip gloss we need. Thanks for coming in. Good morning. Or I guess good afternoon for you. How was your holiday? I caught a bit of your guys' stream last night. I wasn't able to stay the whole time. A Pez dispenser? Yeah. Yeah, we were talking earlier about who we watch and when and whatnot, and Liz is one of those that I try to catch. She streams several times during the week. Always fun. She brings a lot of energy and a lot of lip gloss to the stream. So what happens is I'll stream on Sundays and then flip over and catch Liz a couple hours later as she goes through the makes that the community posts in her Discord server. Yes, waffles were an adventure. Yeah, I saw that. Like pickles and syrup. No thanks, ma'am. No thanks. Okay, those are all 3 Z carriages. And next it wants us to do bed assembly. We are at 10:30. That's about the 2-hour mark. That's what the plan was for today. So I think, let's see how much is involved with this first before I commit one way or another. So there's our bed. It looks like a couple of these things. Put some extrusions together. Bolt that on. I think let's do the frame, and then we'll pause after doing the bed frame. I think that's a good space. So I'm hoping that takes maybe another 30 minutes, and we'll wrap this at roughly 11 o'clock. How's that sound? Give you guys a little extra, more than I had planned today. But I'm anxious to get this project started and nearing completion so that I can get it off the table and off the plate. All right, what do we need here? Some parts lurking to wash dishes. I appreciate you. So I need these 2 and should be one more. Folks, do me a favor when you're printing your parts, don't throw them all in one box because then it becomes harder to find them when you need them. Do what I say, not what I do. I've got 2 of the parts we need. Don't remember where the third went. Did I not print the other one? That sounds impossible. I'm pretty sure that we talked about last time that I would go back and check to see that I had all the parts, and I did that. Totally did that. But maybe I didn't. That's unfortunate. Missing one part that we use to connect the bed to the frame. I'm sorry, the carriage to the bed frame. But that's crazy. So I have the 2 salad fork ones. So maybe that's what I was thinking of. I have the 2 salad fork parts, but I've only got the 1 stealth fork part. So again, I'll print a new one, replace it after the fact, and then we'll go. Even if you buy a PIF kit, pull them out of the foam pack and put them in, yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. I got crunch wraps to get, that's right. 15-hour, no, not happening. 15-hour one day, not happening, especially with MadMax in the mix. I think I'm going to get wrecked on the config for this thing. That's going to be a lot. The config for this is going to be the head scratcher. That's what I'm interested in, right? Because it's gonna be difficult, but also not interested because it's gonna be difficult. Okay, that's the spare. These are the ones we want. I've got GE5C in chrome and in the IGUS style, so the plastic versions. Do you guys have a preference? Do you recommend one over the other? Where are the rest of the parts for this thing? Oh, interesting. Look at that. I found a different bag that has all the bearings and stuff in here. And it's got those big round brass ones that I was looking for earlier before we did the plastic. So that's just, I didn't see those before. Oh, and there are the feet too, like the little tiny feet for a stealth fork. I'm sorry, for a salad fork. So we've got extra feet now. These are the GE5C, and these are the metal type that come with the kit. Yeah, it was hiding under the panels that we had taken out earlier. Tool changer configs are not that difficult. I don't disagree with you, Kegel. I think where I will find difficulty is the MadMax one, right? Because there's a portion in there where you've got to do nudge. And so just getting those tool heads aligned is challenging, I think. And then also, I've never done it before. And so macros and things like that can get very complicated. Okay. The config is all that keeps you from building one. I'm not afraid of it in terms of that. I just know that I get very frustrated. I don't want to say hate, that's not true. I really dislike struggling through firmware on stream because you'll see, if you pay attention to other streams, you'll see that you get a lot of suggestions. Some are not what you are talking about. Some are from folks that think they know, but they probably don't. And then others are from, folks that actually do know, but it kind of gets lost and buried. So you have to sort of ignore some while paying attention to others. And it's a skill set. So it's not as fun there. Okay, these are M3x6s. Again, I'm not sure that I have these in my kit. They gave me a bunch of 8s. I don't remember getting 6s in this kit. But I know they need to be button head. And so I'll dig into my own stash down here. Bring out some button heads. It's not the right size. Where's the correct tool? Oh, over here. Yeah, these just thread directly into plastic. It's the same as on the big Trident. So you don't want to over tighten. These are only to retain that bearing. Mine fit in there pretty well just with friction. And so this is just extra insurance. When I put the bearings into these parts, they were pretty tight. I had to press onto the table, press right down on the surface to be able to get these into the printed part, which is good, and that's what you want. But as soon as these sort of stop turning and they touch the head of the screw, touches plastic, you want to stop twisting or you'll have to reprint your parts. Get a nozzle alignment camera. Kegel, I have one. I was unable to get the rat rig IDEX working in a way that was reliable, so I removed the camera off of that. I removed the IDEX system off of that. And all of those parts are still kicking around the garage. I think I can repurpose that camera. I also have a CXC system for a tool changer. So we could do that. I mean, if you're going to be around and can help me understand that kind of stuff, I'll be down to do it. If I can build a tool changer, you can most definitely build one. Oh, I have no worries about my ability. I have worries about my time to sit down and troubleshoot and make sure that things are working well. That's what I worry about. If I were one of those folks that stayed up till 1 a.m. Just working on stuff and then slept 4 hours a night and then went to work and came home and still worked on stuff, I would be much better at getting things done. My schedule is not that. I work 10-hour days, so I work from about 8 in the morning to 6 p.m. I come home, I spend time with the family until about 8:30 or so. That's when I start winding down and going to bed. I try to be asleep by 9. I'm up by 4. Hit the gym for an hour. Tinker out here for like an hour, hour and a half. Then I got to get ready, get the girls off to school, get myself to work. And then it's rinse and repeat. Really the only time that I get to do this kind of stuff is on Saturdays, which is stream prep, going through, making sure that I'm prepared for Sunday. And that gets impacted if we do anything at all. So if there's a family day or anything like that, then I don't get any prep time and it's figured out. You're one of those guys, you sleep about 4 to 6 hours and work 12? Yeah, no thanks. I mean, I get you on the 12-hour days. Like sometimes, I say 10 hours because that's sort of the norm. There are days where it's 12, 14. I've had 26-hour days. Sometimes it really depends on what's going on. They're not as often as it used to be out here doing what I do now, but it used to be a lot. There would be no time for streaming and all that if I were still doing my last job. But yeah, it's all about priorities, right? This really is fun for me. I just share it with you all on stream because why not? Yeah, but this is not a job. This is not my number one priority. This is more fun. All right, we are done with all of that. I need the F extrusion, preload 6 nuts into that, and then the clearance hole in the middle. Okay, which one is that? Is it this long one? Yeah, so that's this long one here. I want to make sure that we have the good side forward. It looks like this is the one that's sort of unlasered, so we'll put that towards the rear. That way, no matter how we're looking at this, front, top, or bottom, well, I can't because, okay, so it's got to go this way. So no laser towards the bottom, and then I need a short extrusion to go through like that to make the T for the bed. But first, we'll do some no-drop nuts. I hope I have 6 in here. I printed a crap ton, but we're doing 6 here in the top. So that'll be 2 for the bed spacers, and then 2 each for each one of the small carriages to mount. So that's that 2, and then you need 1 for this corner of the bed, and then you'll need the same setup on the other side there. So just move this down, move this in a little bit. Ooh, that's crazy. I have exactly 6 no-drop nuts left. Printed just enough of these. And the crazy thing is these extrusions they're shaped like a T. I learned this just the other day when I was printing no-drop nuts. The first set I printed did not work. This set, they need to be shaped like a T because these are more like Misumi. They're not LDO. So if you have an LDO kit, you need LDO no-drop nuts. If you get a kit from West 3D, you need this T-shaped or Misumi-shaped no-drop nut. So keep that in mind. That's probably the one pro tip that I can offer you for this build right now. I think I printed 75 or 80 of these. I would just print 80 to make sure you had enough of these no drop nuts. Lots of Vision Miner on the bed to make sure that they stick. And then I printed on the fancy Wham Bam carbon fiber plate for the P2S. I got it for the X1 Carbon a while ago, like over a year ago, before I moved. Never really got around to using it. And when I destroyed that other plate, when the ABS stuck to it too much, I decided I was going to use the carbon one and do it on the P2S. And so I did. All right, so these are the weird ones. Like these extrusions here are almost the same. They're slightly different, one slightly shorter than the other. And I'm not sure exactly which one I need, but I'll be measuring that out on the next step. Use a brim and did okay. Yeah, so you can use a brim, but then you got to peel off a brim on 80 of these little things. I really didn't want to do that. Really didn't want to do that. Okay, so A should be, so it's an A extrusion, which should be the shorter of the two. Let me verify. Let's bring up the other manual here. So what I did is I extracted this. So I just printed this page out of the PDF, and I printed 2 PDF. And so now I just have a single page I can reference instead of going back through the manual. And I just have it saved as a separate file. I just call it Salad Fork or Stealth Fork extrusion map. And I can see the A extrusion on the far left here is the shortest. It should be 190. They kind of poke out like a kit card. Yeah, mine never really do that. They always end up with little pieces of brim left over that cause me issues. So, but no, they worked out fine for me. A little Vision Miner on that carbon fiber plate, they printed without a brim, and I printed 80 of them all over the bed. Okay, so we said 190 for this thing. Let's get our super sweet West 3D ruler out. Make sure this is 190. And it looks like 190 to me. Yeah, so I get so much crap from West 3D. I've got like every color of their rulers here. There's the other one. And then I got a yellow one in the house at the PC. That's where I do all my CAD work. Or try to do CAD work. That's where I pretend to do CAD work. I'll say it that way. Okay, this goes like that, but I need a button head in here. And what else? I need 3 nuts in the top of here. I don't have enough of the no drop nuts printed. I'm shy 2 no drop nuts. But that's okay because it's the bed and we'll be fine. It's just the last 2. But what I will do is put them in first. So I'm going to connect these together. I'll put the ones without the no drop nut in first, and that way they're trapped between the extrusion and the no drop nut. So got my 2 M3s right now. Drop that one in, and then this one here. And then I'll put my no drop nut in so that they don't fly out. They're gonna move, right? You can see them moving back and forth across the extrusion, but they won't fall out. I won't lose them at least. All right, so on the desk, let's get my 1515 square out here. Oh, it doesn't work for this. I'm so sad. Yeah, it doesn't work for that. It's only going to do corners. It won't do T's. So I need to design and build another one, get it made out of CNC here. But we can measure and make sure things are even, at least. It doesn't really tell you to tighten it or anything like that. It just says to kind of put it together. So I think what I'll do is I'll leave it a little bit loose. And that way when we put this on the carriage, it'll self-align. And then from there, I can, cinch it down to make sure we're good to go. Not super critical because the bed, again, can float sort of anywhere we want. So I'll keep that in mind to go back and tighten this up. So just keep it snug so it doesn't move around on us. We'll add in our parts that we made here. Make you smaller, come down. All right, there's like a little kick out of the circle here you could see. That should go towards the outside of the printer. So this would be the left side of our T that we just made. So if I do move all this stuff and put this one here, and then this one would go over there. And these are just more M3x10s. Stealth fork parts are pretty nice. They've got the recessed holes in it like that. This is the salad fork side. It's just got a little bit of an oval so you can slide back and forth left to right a little. I don't know which one I like better. So just loosely place that one until we get the other screw in there. And it tells us to use the outermost two preloaded nuts on each side. The innermost nuts are used to mount the bed to the frame. Great. Am I aligning these to the edge, or are we just aligning these onto the carriages, I think? So because we're going to do that, I'm going to leave everything slightly loose so we can make adjustments after installation. Doing any heads on this? What do you mean heads? I'm not sure what you mean, heads. Like tool heads? Yeah, you have to be more specific, Howie. I'm not sure what you mean there. Okay. Okay, so I'm seeing like the normal salad fork parts fit well with the button heads like that. Once I tighten that down, that'll be good. On the salad fork part, there's a large gap there, so I don't know if those M10 or M3x10s are the appropriate one. It should probably be 8s, is what I'm seeing on that one. Terrible at multi. Oh, ant head. Yeah, so it'll be 2 ant heads. Phone typo. Terrible at multitasking. Yeah, 2 ant heads are what we're doing. I've got. So the way this will work, I'll show you guys. I've got printed parts. I've modified both of these to be able to take your MadMax coupling system on either side. That way I only needed one to print. And so go like that. And this one will go over here. And you'll have 2 of these. And that's what we're going to do. The top will also be purple. It's a couple of G2 standalones. So I've picked up 2 spare G2 sets from some of the flea marketplaces on Discord. So I've got this one that's printed, and it's set up for something, I'm not sure. And then I've got this one that's SLS nylon. And I'll just gut these and take the components and put these into this build. And so those will have the extruder parts that I don't know what I did with. There's got to be another box of parts somewhere that I'm not paying attention to. Maybe that's where all the other stuff we were looking for. Yeah, here it is. Okay, yeah, and so we've got the G2 will sit on top of here like that. That is the plan, sir. That is the plan. I'm going to put 8s in here because these are just too big. And because we're going to use stealth fork parts eventually, I want this to be right. Yeah, 8s work much better for stealth fork parts versus the 10s in the salad fork CAD here. Come out of there. All right, nearly done. This should be just slapping this bad Johnny onto the bed. Liking it? Yeah, me too, man. Like it's coming together. Not a ton of yellow parts at all. What is? Okay, there's like some weirdness going on here. All right, so it's sort of hard to see, but the stealth fork parts. See if I can get you in close. Stealth fork. Okay. So this is your stock salad fork part. You can see it's a circle with the bottom cut off. Come on, focus. Circle with the bottom cut off. That allows room for the extrusion to sit flush. Stealth fork part doesn't have that. It's a complete circle all the way around. And so what I'm seeing is that the part does not sit flush to the extrusion because of it. And so we may have to use actual stealth fork parts until I can go back and edit the CAD model and just cut that little edge off. All right, so we'll take those out. We got to replace this bearing. Oh, well, that just disappeared. Replace this bearing into the original part here. Yeah, it's unfortunate. So it's a miss. You can see it now with the part off. The difference between the two. One has the flat bottom, one does not. It's a little bit frustrating. That little detail got missed, and it's stopping the stuff from sitting flush. You could sand it if you didn't want to reprint. I'll just reprint. I got to reprint parts anyway for this build. There's a couple of things that I'm not happy with, like the ducts that I just showed you are a little melty because I printed too hot, too fast, and the extreme overhangs on some of the ducts look a little not great. Let's pop you out of there and go in this one. So again, very tight fit, which is great. Press that in and then just retain with these tiny screws. Wouldn't be a DIY build without at least one round of reprints. You are not wrong. Yeah, I tend to reprint things quite often because a lot of my builds are different. I don't know that I've built anything in the last year that was 100% completely stock. I mean, if you consider the Delta Flyer that we just did, Steve and I both still used an M4 extruder versus the BMG that came in the kit. So we still went off script a little bit. And then behind the scenes, as soon as we ended, I put calico on it instead of mainline clipper, and then also added an LED that I'm still fighting to get configured. For whatever reason, it doesn't want to illuminate. And I don't know if I have the wrong pin assignment, if it's in the wrong port, or if it's a wiring issue. So I got to figure that one out eventually as well. All right, we'll go back to 10s. Screws look pretty aligned for what they are supposed to be. There we go. Too tight. All right, slide you over. Okay, so those are flush with the outside of the extrusions. Let's bring this guy back in. This should pretty much sit like that. So once we add on this rear, should be good to go. So that's where we forgot to print a couple of, that's where I forgot to print a couple of the no drop nuts. So this will be fun. One will be for the bed. One goes back here with the other so that we can mount the rear part here. So at least they remembered to do the cutout notch in the rear part. So that's fine. There we go. I think these are still 10s. Actually, they're probably 8s because it is the stealth fork part. Is there a build guide? No. Nope. So even if you pull the CAD model off of GitHub, it is only the skirts. So stealth fork is a visual upgrade. Not even an upgrade. A visual change to salad fork. It just makes things more angular. It gives you different skirts, and then the panels are a little bit different. The corners and how they connect to the frame are a little bit different. So really it's a visual upgrade more than anything. So there's no real guide for that. So that's why we're following this salad fork manual as closely as we can. But there will be some differences in the areas that are changed. For example, the skirts, we had to use slightly different hardware down there, and slightly different hardware on this portion as well, because they just don't align. They're not as thick as the stock parts because they do have the recessed hardware. So that's really it. All right, that should be good enough to put in here. Let me sit that down. Bring this closer to you all. All right, what do we have next? So it looks like M5 by 16s, which I used for the feet. And I don't believe there were spares in this kit for that. So back to my own stash here, pull out some 16s. I think what I'll do is use some of this black hardware for this. I like black hardware. I think it looks good with the frame, and it looks good with the lead screws that we've got going on. Like so. All right, and the way that I'm gonna do this is I will tighten down these carriages first, and then we'll go back and secure the corners. And I kept this one rigid because that one's sort of indexed. These can move back and forth a little bit. So I'll tighten down back here first. And I'm hoping that engages that M5 screw down in there because it doesn't feel like it is. Oh, geez. Yeah, it doesn't feel like it's engaging that hardware. And I know that we put it in there because I can see it. Erase this up a touch. Let's bring it all the way up to the stop. So I don't want to use longer hardware, but I will if I have to. Yeah, it's just not engaging into the part. That's like free spinning through there. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. Here, let's bring this up a little bit. So you get that front crossbar sort of in the way, but what's happening is, like, as I'm trying to get this, it's not long enough to engage the M5 hardware that's down below. So I think I might have to use a 20 in here instead of a 16, which then becomes too long and doesn't work for what we're trying to do. So I have to fix that after stream at some point. I think it'll be a matter of either using a different an M5 nut in this lower part, or I don't know, maybe some washers in here or something. I'm not exactly sure. I got to think through that one. Yeah, we'll get there eventually. Yeah, so that actually secures into the hardware. Yeah. Yeah, so that actually works out. And then these will bring up to the stops. Allow that to sort of find a home. See if these will engage, because I don't want to do the same thing again. Yeah, these are just not long enough to engage. Cool looking frame. Thanks, Havoc. Yeah, Pathetic Puma did it for us. He reached out and said, hey, I want to do something for the members build. Can I engrave your frame? And I was like, hell yeah, let's do it. All right, so we're going to have to use 20s all the way around, unfortunately, because 16s don't work. They're just not long enough to grab the M5 down below. The downside of that is that means we can't use the black hardware. And that sucks. So again, that's bottoming out before it secures all the way. So you see like this vertical movement. Should not be that way. One solution would be to put a few washers under the head of the screw. The other solution would be to remove this beauty cover portion and, I don't know, press that, like force the M5 to engage. I think that's what I'll do after stream at some point. But for now, we can get things buttoned up and finished to a point where it's clear what we did. All right, so that's good without coming through the bottom too much. All right, from there we can tighten down this stuff. And that should be bed frame complete. That one, get these two over here. Yeah, this would be a perfect option to have M5 by 18 hardware, but I don't think that's a thing. Don't think that's a thing. All right, and then finally we'll get this center one done up. That way everything is where it's supposed to be. Let's go by feel there to make sure we are square to each other. Cool. There's a bed frame. You know, if not a little unsecured based on the hardware we used. But we can fix that later. What do you guys think? I mean, that's a good stopping point right there. The next thing is bed, getting that secured, and then gantry. So that about wraps it up for us, folks. Give you about 45 minutes extra on what we're doing. So just shy of 3 hours on stream today. I will be back on Sunday. We're going to do the next new build series. It's going to be a Trident. Sorry, the actual project's called a Legacy Fork, but it's based on a Trident. So you just take the Legacy gantry, throw it on a Trident. I'm also trying to do a belted Z-axis on that. So just to change it up, make it a little bit different. It's a project that Nathan had put together. So appreciate you all hanging out for the last 3+ hours, whatever it is, all 19 of you. It's been great chatting and talking trash. Throw your bed fans on. Yeah, Howie, that is the plan. Boothie, thank you. Appreciate you hanging out and appreciate the cat help. Yeah, we're going to do bed fans. I saw a mod. Excuse me, I'm congested a little bit. I saw a mod where we do 40-10 blower fans. I think that's the direction I want to go. I think 50-15s are too much, and I think 30-10s are not enough, especially for the open build volume that we have on something like this. So yes, want to do that. Also need to print parts. And so while I'm in there, I'm going to throw on a few extra bits and bobs. I'll modify some of the hardware so that we can use the Stealth Fork bed mounts. Hey, Steve, thanks for being a member for
Thanks
3
for the
whole
sub.
months. One of the first that were here. You got here just as we're wrapping up, so appreciate you. Yeah, Howie, no worries, man. If you have suggestions on bed fans that you recommend or that you would want to see, let me know, and I'll take a look. But I have one idea, but I'm open to all ideas. This is a member stream. You guys chose all of the hardware that we're using. You have a lot of say in how we go forward on the build, so I'd love to hear your suggestions. And Havoc loves your band burner, Boothie. So cool. I'll be back on Sunday with a new build series. That video should be up for viewing tomorrow, I think. I think tomorrow is when it schedules the post. And so you'll be able to sign up for notifications to catch that one. Same time on Monday, so 0730 on Sunday. There should be a Delta Flyer post coming out on Thursday. There was another one this morning, so you'll get to see how the tuning is going on that one. So far, so good. Had a couple of little issues last night, but I think I got it figured out. So I'm super excited to play with that and see what it can do. What's the next build? The next build, Steve, is a Legacy fork. We talked about it briefly during the Delta Flyer build. It's a Trident frame, 250 frame, with a Legacy gantry. And then I'm adapting onto it with Boothie's help. I'm adapting on a belted Z-axis. We'll do inverted electronics and then go from there. So not a super fast speed build, but definitely a different mashup of what is out there as far as mods and changes. So different. It'll be Taco Bell themed if you haven't seen those parts. Let me show you that real quick. Oh, there's one of them. So if you don't know, today is Taco Bell Day, and you can go get Crunch Wraps for $1. So we've got our cheese represented with Polymaker Neon Yellow, Polymaker Pop Pink ASA, and then Decent brand. The brand is Decent Glass Fiber ABS in dark purple. So that's what we're going to do. All right, I'm going to wrap it up. Thanks for hanging out, guys. Appreciate you all. Appreciate you being members. We'll be back in the new year with the next progression on this one as soon as I can. Looks like just throwing the bed on, adding the gantry, and then from there we get to do some MadMax stuff. So getting to see what that looks like. So y'all take care. Take care, Steve. We'll see you guys on Sunday. Have a good week.